I'm a man of action. I'm handy. You're a man of hair gel. Russell, call a locksmith. Russell looked at his reflection in the microwave. He was a different man. He was exclusive. He was domestic. He was happy. Oscar, Russell yelled down the intercom. Bring up some burger fixings and some glitter. I'm having a moment, and it has a very specific address. Chapter 31, The Caloric Compromise. Audrey Bingham had a new hobby, and that was usually bad news for Jeff's lifestyle. It started with a brochure for a whole life detox and ended with a treadmill that took up half the bedroom. It's for our health, Jeff, Audrey said, power walking in place. We're not getting any younger. Our metabolisms are slowing down to the speed of a dial-up modem. Jeff looked at the treadmill, then at his bowl of chili. My metabolism is doing just fine. Audrey, it's currently working overtime to process these beans. That's a workout in itself. I want you on this for 30 minutes a day, Audrey commanded. No TV. Just you and your heart rate. Jeff's survival instincts kicked in. Within 48 hours, he had rigged a reclining chair to the side of the treadmill and mounted a tablet to the handlebars. What are you doing? Audrey asked, finding him walking at a speed of 0.5 miles per hour while watching a football game. I'm multitasking, Jeff said, barely moving his legs. I'm getting my steps in. I'm monitoring the zone defense, and I've discovered that at this specific speed, the vibrations make my beer extra frothy. It's a win-win-win. Jeff, you're literally holding a sandwich. It's a protein wrap, Jeff shouted. I replaced the bread with a different kind of bread. It's old school fitness, Audrey. You wouldn't understand. Chapter 32, The Engagement Photo Shoot. Jennifer had hired a photographer named Soren who insisted on taking photos that captured the raw, unedited agony of love. I want you to look like you've just lost your soul and found it in a puddle, Soren whispered, adjusting a lens that cost more than Adam's car. Adam was standing in Central Park, wearing a sweater that was 3 sizes too small. Can I just smile like a normal human who isn't in agony? No, agony. Give me agony. Soren's eyes then caught sight of the messenger bag sitting on the grass. What is that? The leather. The strap. It's a metaphor for the burden of commitment. Bring it here. Suddenly, Adam was posing with the bag over his head, while Jennifer looked at him with an expression of raw, unedited confusion. This is going to be our Christmas card, Adam muttered. Me, a leather strap, and a man named Soren screaming about my soul. Shazam. It's artistic, Adam. Jennifer chirped. And look, the cushy pad matches your eyes when you're crying. Chapter 33, Russell's Museum Maneuver. Russell wanted to show Tiffany that he was a man of culture. He decided to take her to the Museum of Modern Art, mostly because he heard they had a cafe that served very expensive martinis. Look at this, Russell said, pointing to a large, empty white canvas. It represents the void of the bachelor life, the emptiness of a man without a model from Queens. It's deep, Tiffany, very deep. Tiffany looked at the canvas. Then she looked at the sign next to it. Russell, that's a wall. The exhibit is on the other side. I knew that, Russell shouted, quickly pivoting. I was testing you, and you passed. You're a vision of intellectual prowess. Now, let's go find the paintings that look like they were done by a toddler on a sugar high. That's the real stuff. They wandered into a room with a giant pile of felt and a neon sign that said bread. Is this a sandwich? Russell asked, genuinely confused. Because if it is, I'm inspired. I want to go home and recreate this in my kitchen, with actual bread and glitter. Russell, Tiffany laughed, taking his hand. You're an idiot, but you're my idiot. Let's go get that martini. Chapter 34. The Pitter-Patter of Tiny Bills. The silence of a Sunday morning was broken by the sound of Audrey cleaning out the junk closet. Usually, this meant Jeff was about to lose a favorite hoodie or a box of wires he might need in 2034. But today, Audrey emerged holding a small, wear-upon yellow sweater. Jeff, look what I found, she said, her voice unusually soft. My mom sent this when she thought we were, a few years ago. Jeff didn't look up from the sports section. The yellow sweater. Is it 100% cotton? Because if it is, it's basically a sponge for wing sauce. It's a baby sweater, Jeff, Audrey sighed, sitting on the arm of the sofa. Doesn't it make you think? Jeff finally looked up. He saw the look in her eyes, the Chapter 12 look that usually meant a major lifestyle change was being considered. Think, Audrey. I think about a lot of things. I think about why the Jets can't find a kicker. I think about why I have to pay $9 for cashews in a hotel. I don't think about yellow sponges. I mean, do you think we're missing out? Jeff stood up and walked to the window, looking out at the Manhattan skyline. Audrey, do you know what a baby is in this city? A baby is a $2, $500 a month increase in rent for an extra bedroom. A baby is the end of the high-def era because the screen will be covered in sticky handprints. A baby is a tiny, screaming landlord who never pays rent and demands 24-hour room service. But they're so cute, Audrey argued. So are puppies. And you can leave a puppy in a crate for 4 hours while you go to a steakhouse. Try doing that with a human. The city gets very judgmental about that. Audrey looked at the sweater, then back at Jeff. You're right. The high-def thing alone is a deal breaker. But let's keep the sweater, just in case the Jets ever hire a really, really small mascot. Chapter 35. The Bachelor Party Committee. I want it to be legendary, Russell announced at the diner, slapping a folder onto the table. Adam, your bachelor party will be the stuff of New York folklore. I'm thinking of renting a submarine. Adam blinked. A submarine. Why? I'm claustrophobic. Russell.